Leading up to the 2005 bombings, there was actually two hoaxes, one in Sheffield and one in Nottingham. Could it actually be that these hoaxes were there to cause panic, to give people a problem when they were travelling? Or indeed were they lulling people into a false sense of security, not believing that the London bombings were actually taking place at the time? You can draw your own conclusion. Peter Power of Visor Consultants made it very clear on live television that the scenario was organised by his client. Yes, his client wanted this scenario to be put together. So just to get this into perspective, you have the mock terrorist incident on the same day as a real terrorist incident, which are almost identical, and therefore also in the Panorama programme in May 2004, the same scenario. Now, that is not a coincidence.
Just to get this right, you were actually working today on an exercise that envisioned virtually this scenario.
Almost precisely. I was up until 2 o'clock this morning because it's our job, my own company, Visor Consultants. We specialise in helping people to get their crisis management response. How do you jump from slow time thinking to quick time doing? And we chose a scenario with their assistance which is based on a terrorist attack because they're very close to a property occupied by Jewish businessmen. They're in the city, and there are more American banks in the city than there are in the whole of New York. A logical thing to do. And I've still got the...
I was going to say, how extraordinary today must feel for you as it unfolds.
Since that time, Peter has in fact said his client was a company called Reed Elsevier. And as you would dig a little bit deeper, you'll see that they have very close links to the military-industrial complex. In fact, they support them at many events, which includes arms exhibitions. And surprisingly enough, one of the subsidiaries, Spearhead, organises exhibitions for the sales of items such as cluster bombs, which are in fact the worst type of items you can sell at any arms fair. Also a whole host of other products which are abhorrent to our society. Reed Elsevier's head office is in fact in Amsterdam, and surprisingly enough, it's very close to a company called ICTS, an Israeli company. So the question is, why would a publishing house be interested in a scenario which was created for a terrorist incident? It doesn't make any sense, does it? Why therefore would Peter Power state that that would be the case? I have a feeling that he's not telling the truth. In a programme produced by the BBC about conspiracies on 7/7, he stated very clearly it was an office-based scenario involving around 6 people. However, at the time, he said it was 1,000 people. Listen to this.
We sat everybody down in the city, 1,000 people involved in the whole organisation, but the crisis team...
We know that DCI Steve Williams of South Yorkshire Police was in London that day for the live drill.